Hello.
Hey guys, video cameras have gotten a lot smaller in the last 30 years, huh? So, back in the day when I used to sneak my video camera into Toys R Us to do toy hunting videos, that's the one... that thing that was half the size of me, that's what I was bringing into stores. I got yelled at a lot. Mochi. Did you meet Silky?
This is Silky.
I guess Moochie thought she was my first. She got a little jealous and tried to nibble the picture of Silky. Short vlog for tonight. I had to finish finding my floor today. But there it is. See? I have a floor again. Thought I'd at least follow up with the King Sphinx video that I posted. I think it was the last vlog. Just like a bizarre amount of misunderstanding and confusion. So, or in other weirdness. So, I'll address it one more time. So here we have the Red Ranger and King Sphinx, and look, they're about the same height, right? Then we have the figure, and like this is not to scale, right? I mean, it's a really cool figure. I love that they're doing monsters. I started painting mine, by the way, but I mean, this is he's like a whole 2 inches taller. The monsters typically do not tower over the Rangers like that. It's great if you're one of the people who isn't bothered by that, but I mean, he is way too big. Now let's go over here. And that looks a little more right, although I wish in this case he were a little bit bigger. Now, you can want the monster to be bigger without being too big. There's a difference between make him look a little bit bigger and menacing and not to scale. This is not to scale. This is closer. And this is actually probably a lot... King Sphinx wasn't a big monster, if you look at the footage. Don't take my word for it. Go look yourself. All you have to do is go on YouTube, pop in a DVD, go on Netflix, you know, whatever else. Just Google, you know, King Sphinx, and that should come up. This is much closer to what we saw on TV than this. And furthermore, like, this King Sphinx looks a lot more like what we saw on TV. I mean, they really... they took some... what would you say? Some artistic liberties here? I don't know. And, you know, you can still buy this. You can still love it. You could even like the size of it. That's fine. I'm just saying, though. I'm just, you know, people always want my opinion. And, like, lately, they get upset with it if I point out anything that isn't just perfect. This figure is correct. Look at the head. They totally got the shape right. They got the black in the mouth. They got the nose black. Right? I mean, this looks like what we saw on TV. This is obviously a cheaper figure, but I mean, this is a lot closer to being screen accurate. Okay, from this angle, do you see how you can kind of see, what would you call this? His we'll call it a hat. I can't think of the right word, but you can see the angle, right? Whereas this one, it's like they weren't, when they sculpted this, they weren't paying attention. You can't really... You see what I'm saying? It's incorrect. It's, again, a cool looking figure. This is correct. I always found these arms to be very satisfying. It's like they wanted to make them a little more, I don't know, like muscular but thinner at the same time. This is not what we saw on TV. And again, I've painted mine, so there are some details that are on this one that you won't find on the actual toy. Like, to me, I'm just imagining people at the company looking at King Sphinx and saying, he doesn't look that cool, let's redesign him and make him look cooler. And maybe that's what they did, you know? Maybe they thought he looked too cartoony or too, I don't know, you know, whatever, but they definitely changed it quite a bit. It's so different that I don't think someone tried to copy the image. I feel like this was a decision to make it look different. And again, if it doesn't bother you, fantastic. I really can't keep up. Because for many years, Bandai was turning out really awesome adult stuff, and every time I liked something that was awesome, people got really angry at me. And every time I looked on the bright side and tried to find a use for something that wasn't so great, people got angry. And people keep wanting me to do review videos and give my thoughts and opinions on things. So it's like, I'm a little stuck here, because if I only point out the positive, people get mad at me. And then if I go over things that aren't good or that are different, or I really point anything out at all, that seems to trigger some people these days. So don't say anything bad. And if I only say good things, that's bad. And if I'm in the middle, that's also a problem. I need to pick good or bad. But don't pick good or bad. Don't be in the middle. But just do a review and give your thoughts and opinions. Got it. Somebody was trying to explain to me how the monster suits work. I guess to explain that King Sphinx is a large monster. Like, everybody remembers that I spent a pretty fair amount of time in the monster department, right? Right? I mean, like, I actually handle these costumes. Like, is that something, it's like, what is it like? Like, the fact that I worked on Power Rangers. It's like Mr. Burns on The Simpsons remembering Homer's name. Remember that? I don't know if they do that anymore. Remember that was a thing? That's Mr. Simpson, sir. Sector 7G, right? Ah, Simpson, eh? I'll remember that name. Next episode. Who is this? And then somebody was asking, why would I want Diabolico to be out of scale? I know that's not what I said, speaking of confusion. But, speaking of Diabolico, Diabolico was a huge costume. See? This is a case where the suit actor is probably looking, you know, out of the chest or the neck area, and there's a piece that goes up here. So this would be a case where if they made Diabolico like they made King Sphinx, it would be to scale. You know, like if they want to do something that's more screen accurate, King Sphinx should be closer to size like Goldar, and Diabolico should be more like King Sphinx, where, you know, he's about 2 inches, maybe even more, 2-3 inches taller than the Ranger figure. That would be to scale. It would be a large figure that is to scale. Like, don't people care about to scale anymore? Okay, speaking of org generals, like, these were like big looking suits, right? So if they wanted to make big org generals, that would be awesome. And sometimes the monsters aren't necessarily towering over, but they're wider. Like, you can see this is a big costume. I always wanted figures of them. But here, you can see, they're stuntmen. As opposed to real orgs. Like, I still don't think these would be 2 to 3 inches taller, except, you know, when you get into the horns and, you know. I don't think what I said was in any way unreasonable. Even if they did want to make them a little bit taller, I'd be fine with that. It's just, there aren't that many monsters where the Rangers are coming up to here on them. There just aren't. All of Power Rangers, I can only think of a handful, like Diabolico, Malagor, / Dark Spectre. Yeah. Anyway. Hi, Mittens. Mia's printing the Dark Dimension. The printer wasn't working, so Mia took this apart and fixed it yesterday, which I did film for Patreon. That is a ton of footage, but once I get that edited, I guess I'll post that. She had to take apart this piece, and then she did something with the thingamajiggy tray. Okay, at the moment, this train set is, you know, I've got my trains out, and there's just a bunch of things on it, just a bunch of toys. So this is not like, not going for realism here at the moment, but hang on. Okay, so, okay, this DeLorean is to scale with the trains. Let's pretend that we're going for realism on this set, right? So you've got your trains, you've got a car. Is that triggering anybody? Does that look right? If you're going for realism, who would do it? Be honest. Look at it. Come on. Tell me that doesn't bother you. If you're not bothered, that's incorrect. That should drive you nuts. And I know there's a lot of OCD people in the Power Ranger fandom. That should drive you a little crazy. And like over here too, I don't really have a preference for figure size. You know, like pick any one of these. I'm fine with it. But, you know, like I don't mind these figures being smaller. Same with the samurai. you know? They're nice looking figures, but they're so not to scale with the rest of this wall. I would rather, if I'm displaying, you know, all the years of Power Rangers, I wish they were all the same scale. Like, I was really wishing that Bandai would have just kept releasing team packs. I just pick a scale, right? And then release everything in that scale, you know? Oh, like it was RPM, right? Where gold and silver are shorter than the rest of the Rangers. That doesn't drive anybody else nuts? Really? Just me? Just me? I want everything to be the same size. I want things to look like they're meant to go, you know? Alright, if I haven't made my point by now, I don't think I'm going to. I think some people understand what I'm saying. And, you know, if you just don't care, great. But you don't speak for everybody. You know, some people definitely want things to match. And I don't think that would be, I mean, they're, like, for the things that people complain about, which is nearly everything, I mean, that's actually a fairly valid complaint. Oh, this isn't it?
No, it's just the old one.
Oh. I figure that's why you're doing it in high quality.
No, I just wanted to see how it would look in high quality. But I wasn't sure if it would get the detail that I sculpted or not, but I think it would.
Huh. Mia had modeled that lion-looking Dark Dimension head thing. So, we printed that. That's the one that was in the video. And then she added some more detail to it. So, we haven't printed that one yet. But she would like to print it in a higher quality. She just did a high-quality version of the one that we already did. And it's looking good. Alright, and it's midnight. So, I was hoping to just do like a quick video tonight. Then we were going to watch a movie. We were going to watch a movie for like the last 2 weeks. It always gets to be like 2 in the morning and then it's time for bed. So, tomorrow night, maybe we'll watch a movie. Back to that again. Someday I'll finish early enough that we can watch a movie. But we're working on stuff. So anyway, I'm going to end here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It ended up being a longer video, huh? I guess I had a lot to say about King Sphinx. I just, like, of all the things that people are bothered by, like, that's the one thing that everyone's like, no, that's cool. Alright, whatever. Alright, well, either way, I'm going in here. Thank you guys for watching. Good night.